Hello, today is Wednesday, August 19th, 2026. Here is your daily signal. India is urging its refiners to ramp up LPG production as uncertainty persists in the Strait of Hormuz, according to Bloomberg. The strait remains a critical maritime choke point for global oil, with about 30% of crude exports, much of which ends up in India, passing through these waters. In fact, India imports over 80% of its crude needs and relies heavily on Gulf suppliers. So any tension in Hormuz, especially ahead of festival season, brings the risk of fuel shortages and price surges. Indian Oil Corporation, Reliance Industries, and Bharat Petroleum are on heightened alert and coordinating with the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas as international stakeholders like Saudi Aramco and the National Iranian Oil Company track developments. Key facts: oil prices jumped 4% on August 19, 2026, after vessel traffic slowed in the strait, and Reliance Industries has already launched contingency plans to secure alternative crude routes, while the government issued an advisory warning of possible bottlenecks before Diwali. In the near term, Indian consumers could face higher fuel costs during the festival season, causing inflation pressures. The country may increase crude imports from Russia and the U.S. to mitigate the risk. If disruptions persist, India could respond with strategic investments in reserves and alternate shipping lines, though in the medium term, prolonged shortages could slow economic growth and weigh on festive consumer sentiment. Turning to humanitarian news, Congo's latest Ebola outbreak is now its deadliest, the UN has warned, as Bloomberg reports more than 2,325 people have died amid nearly 5,000 cases. This crisis hits a health system already stretched thin from conflict and mass displacement, and years of violence in North Kivu and Ituri provinces have made disease containment an ongoing struggle. In prior outbreaks, more than 3,400 cases and 2,300 deaths were reported, and weak health infrastructure plus population displacement continue to worsen response logistics and humanitarian need. The Congolese Ministry of Health is leading the response with help from WHO and MSF. MSF just deployed new health workers to remote villages, and UNICEF is providing hygiene supplies. As of August 18, 2026, new cases have appeared in North Kivu, sparking expanded WHO vaccination campaigns and urgent deployments from MSF. The immediate concern is that fragile health centers will be overwhelmed, pushing up morbidity and mortality rates. If the outbreak continues, Ebola could spill into neighboring countries, disrupt other health services, and erode trust between communities and responders, prompting calls for more international aid and logistics support. Finally, Stripe is set to acquire AI gateway startup OpenRouter for more than $7 billion, TechCrunch reports, a move expected to reverberate throughout the AI infrastructure market. OpenRouter provides a unified API gateway for more than 400 AI models and now serves 8 million users only 3 years after it was founded by Alex Atala. Stripe, the fintech leader helmed by Patrick Collison, will use the acquisition to further consolidate its AI and fintech stack, leveraging a partnership with OpenRouter that began in 2024 for billing and compliance services. Major investors in this deal include Sequoia, Andreessen Horowitz, Menlo Ventures, and Alphabet's Capital G. Key figures: OpenRouter closed a Series B in May with a $1.3 billion valuation and $113 million raised. Now, nearly $1.5 billion in payouts is allocated to its founders as part of Stripe's approximately $7.5 billion price tag. With OpenRouter, Stripe gains control of the world's most widely used AI model routing platform, centralizing access for developers, OpenAI, Anthropic, DeepSeek, and Qwen alike. In the short term, Stripe plans to weave OpenRouter's API routing into its billing systems, which could change developer costs and bring new transparency but also raise concerns around vendor lock-in. Over the medium term, challenges loom around OpenRouter's neutrality and potential regulatory scrutiny, especially due to Chinese model involvement in the U.S. market. But with real-time data from hundreds of AI models, Stripe may be in position to reshape infrastructure standards across the AI economy. Now, onto the markets. European international equities moved up, with Germany's EWG gaining 0.82% and Belgium's EWK also advancing. France, represented by EWQ, climbed 0.88% as top gainer. Lintris Inc. surged over 209%, while Lucas GC Limited was among top losers in China. UK stocks also posted a rise of 0.85% led by steady gains in UNG Inc. but saw losses from eHome Household Service Holdings. Italy and Spain saw more modest increases, while the Netherlands dipped 1%. Chile was a standout, rallying almost 1.55%. Commodities were mostly higher, with gold GLD up 3.83% and silver SLV gaining nearly 4.47%. U.S. oil USO rose slightly, and platinum PPLT jumped 5.78%. Agricultural products and metals posted minor gains, but natural gas UNG declined 0.89%. Among favorites, Microsoft gained 0.56% while AMD fell 3.71%, Nvidia eased 0.99%. Oracle and Amazon both advanced, with Amazon up 2.46%. ARM and Intel dropped, and Marvell soared nearly 9.85%. The S&P 500 inched higher by 0.21%, while healthcare Roman 45 surged 3.5% and Finance XLF slipped 0.62%. Semiconductors retreated 2.2% and clean energy edged down. Notables: BTC Digital Limited led gainers, up 328%, Profusa, Inc. and Lucas GC Limited were among top losers as Profusa tumbled 52%. That's it for today. You can find more news and details on our website. Goodbye.